Good morning. I'm the Reverend Julianne Lepp. It is wonderful to be with you for our morning meditation. And it is uh, the middle of November and this very, very long pandemic. And many of us have been trying to find ways in which to center ourselves and to find peace. And spiritual practices like meditation are one of the ways in which we ground ourselves. And in Unitarian Universalism, we light a chalice for our services and meditations. And the chalice came out of World War II when the Unitarian Service Committee was looking for a symbol to help rescue Jewish people from Nazi Germany. And it was something that was stamped on the papers as the Unitarian Service Committee tried to get people out of Nazi Germany. And the chalice was chosen as a symbol of hope and a symbol of light, and done by the artist Hans Deutsch those many years ago. And it's become a symbol of our congregations that have been adopted that show this light to us when we need it the most. So this morning I light this chalice, knowing that in the hardest of times we need light in our lives. If you have a candle at home, I encourage you to light it with me. And I would say that lighting candles is one of my spiritual practices. It's a physical representation of my hopes and aspirations in the world. When someone tells me that someone has died or that they are having trouble in their lives, I say, I'll light a candle for you. And, in some traditions, you say, I will pray to God for you, or I will, um, whatever your tradition calls you to do. And for me, the universality of that candle and that intent that we are shining light and love and hope in someone's life is powerful. And so today I'm thinking about the practices that hold us during this pandemic. And thinking of those, it's those ordinary graces, right? It's that dependable thing that we long for. And I'm gonna read from Joy Atkinson. This is called Ordinary Graces. The red orange glaze on the low sunk moon, seen in the parting of clouds. The sight and sound of a bright field of wheat, whispering, bending in waves. The scent of a wild-born sea, pine, jasmine, and the waiting gifts of a harvest table. The gentle tug of creation's umbilical cord calling us out of despair. The warmth of linked hands and shared thoughts calling us into community. These gifts of grace we receive. In them we rejoice as we return our thanks. The warmth of linked hands, excuse me, is not available to all of us. And, that's something that I know I really miss in our in-person services, and trying to think of the ways in which we are together, holding our hands and our hearts. Last night in our congregation, we had a harvest auction, and the theme was Together at Heart. And you can see these hands reaching across. And, I can reach my hand to you virtually, which might seem a little funny, but it's true. Our connections, our emotional well-being is so important. And, as the time to which we thought we would be doing this has lengthened, trying to find those coping mechanisms and those spiritual practices which hold us have been incredibly important. I know I pet my cat a lot, and that helps me ground and let go of stress. And maybe there's things in your life that have held you. I'm going to read one more reading before we enter into our time of meditation, and think about the things that ground you and hold you. This is called Divinity. It comes to me when I am most creative, when I am thinking of things and doing things that reach beyond myself, not knowing, only hoping and dreaming, wanting revelations to connect, support, and nourish. And when the energy surges up and lifts me toward the light into space where sparks ignite and inspiration crackles from the brain and into the heart and back, and then everything around me sings. The spirit speaks and lives, and I am filled with wonder at the beauty of this place we call the world. My gratitude knows no bounds. My life is full, and I am blessed beyond all sense of self or separateness. I am the world and all that is within it, and I bless the holy grace of which by which all lives. Yeah, it's those moments that lift us up. I find that when I sing, when I'm writing, sometimes I'll get carried away into that creative moment. So I invite you into a time of quiet. Let your body ease into a position of rest. Let your eyes move to a gentle gaze, or you can close them gently. Feel your jaw relax. Some people put their tongue to the roof of their mouth. Gentle your breath. Then we're going to sit with a moment of silence, feeling held by all that is holy. We come back to our breath in this moment. I hope you can carry this quiet, that sense of peace which has held you during this time, during the rest of your day. when I first started trying to do meditation, I found silence and sitting very uncomfortable. I would find ways to wiggle and resist the rest, the being held in that silence. And the nice thing about meditation or spiritual practices is that sometimes the more you do them, the easier they become and the more powerful they become, to find that sense of being held and loved and something bigger than ourselves. You know, we can get caught in our own monkey mind of what bothers us and what is stressing us. But if we can let it go and give it to the universe, the ground, or to God, whatever words work for you, and take it outside of our body, then we can find so much more emotional health and spiritual health and be able to function during this hard time. So I'm going to have one more reading. And this talks about the blessings of community. And we have many different types of communities. Communities of friends. There's communities within this Unitarian Universalist congregation, within a yoga community. Alone in the world, I was beset with frustration and anger at the world around me. So much injustice and hatred, so little peace and freedom. I longed to make a difference. I struggled against powers and institutions, but my actions seemed insignificant and my words were drowned out. Then I came into community. I found support, energy, vision, and power, and shared witness, and together we changed the world. Alone in the world, I was beset by sorrow and hurt in my life, by loss and emptiness. And then I came into community and found support, compassion, wisdom, and grace, and the power of shared experience. And together we made life sweeter. When I think about this, you know, it's not to say that alone we can't make a difference, or that alone we can't be sort of okay, but we need one another. And especially in this time, you know, I encourage you to find ways to connect, creative ways and ways to hold your spirit and to be held. And, you know, whether that's calling an old friend, you know, attending something like this, a meditation or a yoga class. I hope you know how amazing life can be when it is held by others and you're not walking this path alone. And you're not. You're part of a larger world, and we're part of a larger universe. And it's hard to remember that sometimes when things feel big and hard. So I leave you with this light, this time of blessing and love, and know that I am thinking of you, and I hope that you will think of yourself and hold others when they need it. I wish you blessings on this day. Namaste, and blessed be. Hope you can join us for our Sunday service in Zoom at 10 a.m. or you can tune in here also on the Facebook page at 10 a.m.